fashion industry is responsible for 10% of all carbon emissions, and with ever-changing consumer motivations, it is imperative that companies listen and respond to consumer needs. Millennial and Generation Z shoppers rank social and environmental responsibility as number 2 of their top 5 factors they consider when buying a product. The market exists and is growing. Head of Sustainable Fashion and Textiles at EcoAge, Charlotte Turner, states, "It is difficult to reconcile reducing environmental impact with a business model built on delivering increasing volumes of product at ever cheaper prices. Large fast fashion conglomerates simply cannot make these changes." With the fast fashion industry causing the US to throw away around 2,150 pieces of clothing each second, an opportunity is created for startups to fill a niche the traditional industry isn't ready or willing to address. Therefore, today I want to evaluate the innovative and highly entrepreneurial brand Pangaia. I have chosen Pangaia because they not only address the problem of waste, but are trying to fundamentally change the industry altogether, altering perspectives on how clothes should be made as well as how they are sold. Trying to define who Pangaia are as a company is complicated. They are not merely a fashion brand, but according to their own website, a material science company on a mission to save the environment, creating essential products for innovative tech and bioengineered materials. In short, their goal is to design an earth-positive future together. Trying to understand whether or not Pangaia could be deemed a successful startup is ostensibly down to profit. Has the company succeeded in producing consumer interest and materialised that interest into purchases? Indeed, Pangaia in 2020, just 2 years after their inception, achieved an incredible $75 million in sales, despite the pandemic. However, I feel sustainable success in this area comes from innovation. Has a company produced a product or a service which changes the way consumers interact with, for example, the fashion industry? Globally, there are over 100 million new businesses launched every year, which translates into roughly 11,000 startups launched every hour. Without being innovative and exciting, businesses could never survive in such a saturated and hostile climate. With consumers being more aware than ever, taking responsibility for their impact is essential. Eliza Neemstrow, Director of Consumer Sectors of Business for Social Responsibility, states, "Millennials want their brands to behave responsibly. Successful startups are therefore companies which innovate, produce profit, and have a genuine and believable ethos that consumers can get behind." Pangaia is at the centre of fashion innovation, turns a large and growing profit each year, and so alongside its tangible and clear moral code, it passes the test for a successful and promising startup. The team at Pangaia have an extremely entrepreneurial mindset. They acknowledged both a need and a gap within the fashion industry that they felt they could fill. Fashion scientist and Pangaia's Chief Innovation Officer, Dr. Amanda Parks, noticed how stagnant the fashion industry had become. Whilst tech giants like Apple and car brands like Tesla were developing and innovating products and materials, fashion labels were not. She noticed, whereas technology has moved forward hugely, textiles simply haven't advanced. Alongside creating a very new business structure for the fashion industry, Pangaia is also at the forefront of creation and discovery when it comes to sustainable textile innovation. Before Pangaia, it may have been shocking to see aerospace engineers and fashion designers working on the same products, and yet Pangaia has pioneered this partnership. For example, Enrico Cozzoni, head of Pangaia Labs in Florence, has a background in aerospace engineering and a PhD in industrial manufacturing, and he is a key collaborator in the company. He helped develop a down-filling alternative for coats and jackets designed in Pangaia's labs. Part of Pangaia's success is undoubtedly the cross-pollination from other sectors. It does not limit itself to only gaining expertise from within the fashion industry. Their utilisation of knowledge from various disciplines allows for an entirely new level of innovation. Shiv Kima sees this, stating, "Most importantly, Pangaia has an entrepreneurial team with tremendous experience and great partners that will together drive growth and build fundamental brand value." There are 4 possible reasons for the company's resounding success, these being their environmental awareness, focus on inclusivity, innovation of the design process, and their dynamic business model. Pangaia is acutely aware of the growing necessity and market for sustainable and responsible clothing. They have responded to the external social environment of modern consumers. Many experts have proposed that corporate social responsibility is fundamental to the long-term survival and success of startups. Indeed, this insight is extremely relevant when assessing Pangaia's success. They take corporate social responsibility very seriously. The Nielsen Global Survey in 2015 showed that 66% of respondents were willing to pay more for products and services from companies that are committed to positive social and environmental impact. Consumer motivations are changing, and startups like Pangaia, who have an enthusiastic and entrepreneurial team, are able to react to these changes and adapt to produce a company which fulfills buyers' interests. Likewise, buyer motivations have also changed when considering how they want to be perceived and marketed to. The global unisex clothing market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 4.5% during the forecast period, reaching $3.2 billion by 2030. Indeed, the pan in Pangaia translates to all-inclusive, which is reflected in their unisex products and branding. Their tracksuits are to be used as decided by the wearer, regardless of their gender, Pangaia said in a statement to Refinery 29. Editor reported that last year the fashion industry had a gender awakening and confirmed genderless product sales increased by 56%. The market exists, particularly within the target which Pangaia is marketing towards, millennials and Generation Z consumers who make up majority of both the sustainable and unisex clothing markets. In 2019, 56% of Gen Z consumers shopped outside of their assigned gender area. Pangaia have tapped into a growing market which will continue to contribute towards their success. Pangaia have also found success through their innovation of the design process. They match existing pioneering material solutions with their research labs, which allow improvements along the entire chain. Whether it be by increasing the efficacy or performance of a material, Pangaia surround themselves with a knowledgeable team of scientists who can make their ideas tangible products. From their seaweed and cotton t-shirts, which require infrequent washing due to their antibacterial peppermint finish. As simple as this seems, laundering our clothes less can increase their life 4 times over, and if we were able to lengthen the life of just 1 in 5 garments by 10%, we could divert 6.4 million tonnes of clothing from landfill. It was the innovators from Pangaia's labs who tweaked the textile compositions and produced this fabric. Indeed, companies contribute most to the sustainable development of an economy and society if their core business deals with solutions to environmental and social problems, as noted by Shawteller and Wagner. Companies are more likely to succeed if they reach out to consumers who are motivated by a recognised social issue. Pangaia does this excellently. The final factor which has significantly contributed towards Pangaia's success is their business model. Many startups fail due to lack of cash flow and difficulty maintaining a customer base. Rizwan Virk notes in his book, money is one of the biggest issues for startups. Indeed, according to CB Insights, 29% of startups fail because they ran out of cash. However, Pangaia has a very clear way of ensuring money never disrupts their vision. Parks and her colleagues saw an opportunity to create an entirely new business model, revenue streams in the short term coming via retail and product sales, and longer term from business-to-business sales of their textiles, material licensing, and partnership for research and development. Park states that getting materials into the mass market that have superior performance and sustainability credentials is the way to drive the commercial success of the company. They're aiming for deep market penetration with sustainable textile solutions, which will hopefully be saleable to the mass market retailers. It is a bottom-up system. Within the sustainable space are, for example, Guppy Friend, a mesh laundry bag which goes into the washing machine and catches tiny microplastics, preventing them from ending up in our water systems. Patagonia, a fashion brand with a comparable ethos to Pangaia, have even started selling Guppy Friend on their website. Patagonia are notorious for their sustainable philosophy, using recycled bottles to make clothing and having a free mending service which reduces clothing sent to landfill. These companies, alongside various others who are addressing the plastic, carbon and global waste problem, are all tackling a social and environmental need for ethical business practices. Pangaia can use Patagonia, for example, as a blueprint for how to grow in the future whilst maintaining their ethos. Patagonia's founder has recently given the $3 billion company away and turned it fully non-profit. Indeed, this kind of transformation of Pangaia's retail sector may be possible when the business-to-business side of the company becomes more established. As Banzal notes, only when sustainable development is valued and accepted as the norm by organisational stakeholders will organisations subscribe to its principles. Pangaia needs to learn from Patagonia's marketing. They have to radicalise their position to normalise it. Perhaps Pangaia could do the same. What makes Pangaia so remarkable is that they aren't just another fashion brand contributing to the endless mountain of textile waste. Pangaia has a different mission. At their core, they are a business-to-business company. They aim to market these materials to fast fashion brands to redefine how we make and sell clothes. Through their products, they are not trying to make profit, but instead show their customers, other fashion brands, that there is a market for their textiles, that consumers want to make the switch. Pangaia are innovative, entrepreneurial, and most importantly, a unique and ethical company growing out of a significant social issue. There is a business case for environmental sustainability, and in their journal article, Grayson and Kelran perfectly articulate this sentiment. It is an added bonus that addressing these business challenges will not only enhance financial performance over time, but it is simply the right thing to do as well. Pangaia recognise this and are working towards a better business future for everyone.